The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Sarah Menin. Y'all already know, man. One perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, family. Another interesting night again. If you have missed this before, you've never seen this program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, it's probably one of the most serious nights outside of the whole COVID thing at the time that we've been talking about some stuff. The question tonight is the Caribbean ready for war? Wars, rumors of war, wars and rumors of war. Is the Caribbean ready? We're going to take a look at some footage tonight, some information that's coming out fresh off the press. I hope y'all paying attention. If you're not paying attention, you might want to start to do so now. So we're going to take a look at some videos. I have a lot of videos. I'm not going to be playing them all, but I'll play enough and I'll share the links so that you in your spare time can take a look and get a full overview of what's happening in the region and why this is important. So go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically Incorrect is up and running. We're taxiing on the runway. You do not want to miss this. I believe we would have had this conversation back sometime in December, January, when we talked about Trinidad signing these different agreements with America to put troops on the ground. We talked about it then as, we said that back then, it's an indication that they are coming. Well, they are here. So I hate to be the one to say, I really hate to be the one, but we got to start looking at next steps. So we're going to go through that tonight. So again, if you have a pen, have a piece of paper, you might want to take some notes down in terms of what part of the program I said what or what was discussed, in case you want to go back later on to get a clip or share with a friend or tell a family member. But tonight, you don't want to miss this. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Plus, there's a video circulating regarding a lady in St. Vincent that was a teacher. And man, there's always a backstory, but we won't get too much into that tonight. But we're going to touch on that in passing, just in passing. And I'll tell you why when we get to that point. I'm not saying, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Politics is such a bitter thing. Anyhow, there's always a backstory. Anyhow, go tell a friend and tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. You all already know how to do this thing. I ain't got to tell you. I used to have a clip here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I don't even know if I can find it. For those interested in calling the program, the number is on the screen. Remember, we're on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Yes, I know that say 8, and we on here after 9. Yeah, but I give thanks to those tuning in. Nevertheless, those who watch it now, who watch it later. But make sure what is it they say? Yeah, here it is. Subscribe to the page. Yes, they say subscribe. Click the link. Make sure you like it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. That's what it is. If you're on Facebook. Yes, like and share. So that's what's up. So is the Caribbean ready for war? Like I said, we have a lot of information to share tonight. Man, oh man, oh man. In a way, I don't even know where to start with this. There's so much stuff. But we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Okay, so just bear with me and let's get to it. So let's just start off with this first clip. This is where it started a few days ago. Some of y'all might know there was an encounter. Let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. Let me just go ahead and give me a second. In fact, before I jump into that, I see some folks here shouting at me. Greetings, Daffodil. I see you. I see you. Greetings to you and the family all the way up there in the rigid climate. St. King Alfred, I see you. The whole of Brooklyn locked on. Shout out to my Brooklyn peoples. Y'all already know, man. Really good evening to the Rastaman and viewers. Empress, I see you. Tell a friend and tell a friend, family. Make sure you like and share it. Go tell a friend, go tell a friend, go tell a friend. Speaking of Telma. Shout out to Telma Yearwood all the way from the Big Apple. Wait, is it NYC? Telma, you in NYC or you down in Atlanta? Let me know where you come. Let me know where you're logging on from in case I forget, family. Just give me a shout. Let me know which place you hailing from or by way of. You know, a lot of y'all are from Barbados, but you might be traveling abroad. Let me know where you're coming in from. Coming in out the cold, man. Shout to the family. Greetings. Here live family. Rastafari. Sean, what happened? You're late though. Sean said, strange title, bro. Greetings. I know, is the Caribbean ready for war? I know, Sean. It's strange, man. It's more stranger than that. But I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'm going to show you why. Natalie Jones, greetings to you too, family. Greetings. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go tell a friend. Go share this in your WhatsApp group. This is too serious to miss, family. I met a brother the other day at the service, Young Power. And he came up to me and said, you don't know me, but I watch your program all the time. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate the different perspective as opposed to the same narrative. And like I told him, this is why we do what we do. We do it for the people who just want a different perspective. It's not a right or wrong thing. It's just my point of view and your point of view. And we just having a conversation. Shout to the matriarch all the way up there in the north. Yes, shout to the matriarch. Moms, greetings to you and the famous, infamous, notorious, famous. I ain't gonna call your name, man. You know who you be already. You know who you be. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Nikki. I hope so. I hope I'm not. Good night. Watching from St. Vincent. Really wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Shout out to St. Vincent, my second home. I love St. Vincent. Love the Caribbean, really. Love the Antilles, but we in this together, man. I hope I didn't pronounce your name incorrectly. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Yes, tell me from New York City, the NYC. Shout out to the folks in VA. All the way in VA. I ain't going front, man. I'm scared to death in Virginia. I had an encounter, man, on I-95. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not saying no more. Oh, look, by the grace of God. They can't tell me there's not a God, man. Oh, really? Yo, shout out to my people in Canada, man. Candy Apple, you know who you are already. Big shout out to my people in the north. Yeah, send her the link, Telma. Tell her to tune in, man. The Clark family, shout out to the whole Clark family. Greetings. Give thanks, man. The Cadoggans as well. Shout out to the Cadoggans. I love it. Blessings to you and everyone else as well. To the elder, Mr. Royal. Man, listen, all I'm going to say is go tell a friend to tell a friend tonight. You do not want to miss this program. I have a lot of links, a lot of videos to share. We're going to jump right into it. Big shout out to the family who'll be tuning in some cases for years. We give thanks, man. Greetings to everyone. Sammy, what's going on, family? I ain't hear you in a while. All is well with you. I trust all is well with you and the family. The names. I give thanks, family. She said, very interesting. The topic tonight is very interesting. That's the second person that said that, Sean. You see somebody else tune into the same energy. Is the Caribbean ready for war? Let me show you why. In fact, without saying any more, let me just jump right into it. Because a lot of y'all might be aware and some of y'all might not be aware. A few days ago, there was a little encounter. Well, let me go back a little further. In fact, since we got the Vincentian people on the line right here, let me go a little further. Hang on. Let me do this. I'm inspired by you. Let me go a little further. Let's do it like this. Let me share this one instead. I think this is the best place to start tonight. Now, y'all may be aware last year, well, around this time a year ago, there was a meeting in St. Vincent, speaking of St. Vincent, with the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, basically CARICOM to some degree, and they invited the President of Guyana, Ali, and the President of Venezuela, Maduro, and they had to sit down and they signed what is called the Declaration of Argyle, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it's called. In fact, I'm gonna give you a link to that as well for those who want to copy that and read it. The Argyle, the Agency of the Public Information. This is Venezuela and Guyana signed the joint Peace Declaration of Argyle. Peace Declaration of Argyle. It was on December the 14th, 2023. So let me go ahead and share that link right here in the comments. First of all, let me set the stage. Okay, there you go. That's the link to the PDF file. You might want to download it. You might want to read it and realize what was agreed on then realize where we at now. Because this goes back a while. Esquibo, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but we're going to get it together in a minute. Yeah, there's some contention in terms of the land that's adjacent to Venezuela. They're claiming it's theirs. Guyana took it. It was an international thing back then. But in reality, a lot of land was grabbed during the colonial time. A lot of land grabbing was going on back and forth. So quite frankly, a lot can be said about this. It's like what's going on in the Middle East with Israel and the Palestinians. The reality is neither the two of them are indigenous or original to that land. They both took it from the people who were originally there. So that's another conversation, but it's pretty much the same thing. The original folks in Guyana would have been the ones who possessed that area until the colonial people came and basically started to chop up stuff and claim it in their own name. Now, imagine the thief fighting over for the same spot of land. Crazy. But let's look at this from a different perspective. So let me hear what Mr. Gonzalez had to say back then, in part to set the stage for what's going on today. So take a listen to this, family. Take a listen to this.
The joint declaration of Argyle for dialogue and peace between Guyana and Venezuela reads as follows.
Listen carefully.
On Thursday, December the 14th, 2023, in Argyle, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and His Excellency Nicolas Maduro, President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, held discussions on matters consequential to the territory in dispute between their two countries. These discussions were facilitated by the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and pro tempore President of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonzalez, and the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica and Chairman of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. Prime Ministers Gonzalez and Skerrit, together with His Excellency Mr. Celso Amorim, Special Advisor and Personal Envoy of His Excellency Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, President of the Federated Republic of Brazil, acted as principal interlocutors. Also present were the Honorable Prime Ministers of the Caribbean Community, namely the Honorable Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Mia Moore Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Decon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Philip J. Pear, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis, and Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Attending as observers on behalf of His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, were Their Excellencies Earl Courtney Rattray, Chef de Cabinet of the Office of the Secretary General of the United Nations, and Miroslav Jenka, Under Secretary General of the United Nations Department of Political and Peacebuilding Affairs. In addition, His Excellency Alvaro Leyva Duran, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Colombia, and Mr. Gerardo Torres Zelaya, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Honduras, in his capacity as CELAC Troika, also participated. All parties attending the meeting at Argyle, St. Vincent and the Grenadines reiterated their commitment to Latin America and the Caribbean remaining a zone of peace.
Listen.
Guyana and Venezuela declared as follows.
Listen,
1.
family.
Agree that Guyana and Venezuela directly or indirectly will not threaten or use force against one another in any circumstances, including those consequential to any existing controversies between the two states. 2. Agree that any controversies between the two states will be resolved in accordance with international law, including the Geneva Agreement dated February 17, 1966. 3. Committed to the pursuance of good neighborliness, peaceful coexistence, and the unity of Latin America and the Caribbean. 4. Noted Guyana's assertion that it is committed to the process and procedures of the International Court of Justice for the resolution of the border controversy. noted Venezuela's assertion of its lack of consent and lack of recognition of the International Court of Justice and its jurisdiction in the border controversy. 5. Agreed to continue dialogue on any other pending matters of mutual importance to the two countries. 6. Agreed that both states will refrain, whether by words or deeds, from escalating any conflict or disagreement arising from any controversy between them. The two states will cooperate to avoid incidents on the ground conducive to tension between them. In the event of such an incident, the two states will immediately communicate with one another, the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, the Community of Latin American and the Caribbean, CELAC, and the President of Brazil to contain, reverse, and prevent its recurrence. 7. Agreed to establish immediately a joint commission of the foreign ministers and technical persons from the two states to address matters as mutually agreed. An update from this joint commission will be submitted to the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela within 3 months. 8. Both states agreed that Prime Minister Ralphie Gonzalez, the pro tempore president of CELAC, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, the incumbent CARICOM chairman, and President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva of Brazil will remain seized of the matter as interlocutors, and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres as observers, with the ongoing concurrence of Presidents Irfan Ali and Nicolas Maduro. For the avoidance of doubt, Prime Minister Gonzalez's role will continue even after St. Vincent and the Grenadines ceases to be the pro tempore president of CELAC, within the framework of the CELAC Troika +1. And Prime Minister Skerrit's role will continue as a member of the CARICOM Bureau.
Now, I want to pause here to y'all to realize what he actually just said. That even after, Prime Minister Gonzalez's role will continue even after St. Vincent and the Grenadines ceases to be the pro tempore president of CELAC. Really, within the frameworks of the CELAC Terioka +1 or Taroki +1, how we pronounce that. St. Vincent, y'all better pay attention here, because man, look, I mean, let this ride out. Hang on, let me let this ride out first. Let me get to 9. Let me get to number 9.
9. Both states agreed to meet again in Brazil within the next 3 months or at another agreed time to consider any matter with implications for the territory in dispute, including the above-mentioned update of the Joint Commission. 10. We express our appreciation to Prime Ministers Gonzalez and Skerrit, to President Lula and his personal envoy Celso Amorim, to all other CARICOM Prime Ministers present, to the officials of the CARICOM Secretariat, to the CELAC Troika, and to the head of the CELAC PTP Secretariat in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Dr. Douglas Slater, for their respective roles in making this meeting a success. 11. We express our appreciation to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for their kind facilitation and hospitality at this meeting, dated this 14th day of December, 2023.
Now, family, I want y'all to think carefully about what was just said. They agreed to a lot of things based on what CELAC and CARICOM and the other folks put together, and somehow Ralph Gonzalez is in a position, along with Brazil, to be involved in this, dispute. Well, that was over a year ago, give or take, a year and a few months. Well, guess what? Let me just update y'all real quick. So a few days ago, there was some things going on in the water off of Guyana, on those platforms, I guess, drilling or doing research. Guyana have the oil and whatnot, and the Venezuelans like, well, listen, a lot is happening. What you guys doing in my backyard? Let me just drop this little quick video here real quick. Hang on a second.
I'm on number, over.
Now, let me just set the stage first. This is a Venezuelan warship. This is Coast Guard, but reconnaissance. Pay in mind, they're just paying attention to what's going on and doing what they normally would do in terms of a vessel coming into their waters, as far as they're concerned, in their waters, unauthorized. Listen to the exchange, listen to the dialogue, but also pay attention to the responses from the individuals that are on the oil rig in the water. Just listen carefully. Some of it might make sense to you because you might be familiar with the Navy aspect of things, but Venezuelan Navy approach an Exxon Mobil operation off of Guyana. Now, Exxon is owned by America. This is the big oil conglomerate. So I want you to pay attention to this very seriously. And I'm going to tell you why this is important in a minute.
Do you copy Lisa Destiny?
Copy it. I'll give you my IMO number shortly. Please go ahead with the next question.
What is the IMO number? Don't you have an IMO number? Over.
My IMO number is 9175080.
What is the call sign? Over.
Call sign is Charlie 6 Bravo Foxtrot 5.
What is the flag of the ship? Over.
We are Bahamas.
The flag on the ship is Bahamas. All right, start to piece this together, family.
What is the port of registry? Over.
Port of registry is Nassau.
Please tell me what is the name of the master and nationality. Over.
Question received. No comments from our side.
Question received. No comment from our side. What's the nationality and the master? The name of who in charge, I suppose, or the ship master. Question received. No comment from our side.
How many people do you have on board? Over.
Question received. No comments from our side.
What kind of ship are your ship? Over.
We are FPSO.
How long have you been here operating, Lisa Destiny? Over.
Question received. No comments from our side.
So as you can see, this goes back and forth for a little while between the two of them in terms of question and answers. And the reality is, you know, you can tell there's some tension because whoever's on the rig has instructions almost like, you know, don't answer questions. You deal with the basic stuff. He answered for the longitude and latitude, location, 8 degrees, and so on and so forth. And they give that information because that is like, you know, common knowledge to some degree. But they're asking this question to recognize that the people on board this knows where they are geographically in terms of on the map. But then listen what he says to him.
Your present geographical position. You are operating in the exclusive economic zone of Venezuela, Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which is in litigation with Guyana.
You're operating in, let's see, let me go back to that real quick, man. You're operating.
Okay, Lisa Destiny, according to your present geographical position.
According to your not your present geographical positioning, you are operating.
You are operating in the exclusive economic zone of Venezuela.
Of Venezuela Republic.
Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which is in litigation with Guyana.
Which is in litigation with Guyana. Now, remember what I played earlier, the agreement that they allegedly, well, that they signed. I mean, I wasn't there, but this is the stage that played out a year ago. And here it is now. You have a Venezuelan Navy ship on the scene questioning this operation by a vessel that's, you know, as far as they're concerned, are in their waters.
Your actions will be considered from Venezuela on the regulation of Venezuelan state. Do you copy that? Over.
You're in violation.
Received. No comments.
You're in violation. Received. No comment.
What company authorized, granted the license to operate here? Over.
What company authorized and granted you license to be here?
Your question received. No comments from our side.
Now, the gentleman speaking clearly sounds Guyanese. It sounds, in fact, sounds Guyanese. Well, in fact, it sounds Indian. If I'm wrong, well, you know, correct me. But you know, those who know. He is an Indian. He sounds perhaps either East Indian, perhaps maybe, I don't know. West Indies, I don't know. There's just a particular tone they use when they speak. It doesn't sound like the traditional Guyanese. Oh gosh, bye. You know, this is somebody who sounds like he's of Indian origin. But anyhow, the plot thickens. So what does all this mean? Where is this coming from? But guess what? This did not sit too well with the president of Guyana. In fact, In fact, let me just switch real quick here, real quick. Let me get to it. Hang on a second, family. Right afterwards, he had a lot to say. Venezuelan patrol vessels spotted in Guyana's waters. Oh, wait a minute. You just heard the Navy said that you were in all waters. Well, here's the president of Guyana, Mr. Ali, singing his particular tune. Let me let him go ahead and say, I won't play the whole video. I'll play a clip. Hang on.
My fellow Guyanese, I address you today to inform you of a serious development concerning our nation's maritime territory.
Let me just pause for a second. I want you to listen to his language very carefully. My Guyanese people, I'm telling you right now, y'all need to pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. A lot is going on in the region. The world is a lot going on as a whole, but the Caribbean, we have always been a space, a safe space for so many, especially ourselves. We've never had troubled waters in an extent of troubled waters, except centuries ago when the invaders came and ran through us, basically colonized the islands, man, and subjugate everybody else and force them into working on a plantation under the guise of slavery. But it really was prison camps. That's what it was. But when y'all pay attention to this, and in fact, this brother here is speaking, very important what he's about to say.
This morning, Saturday, 1st of March, 2025, at approximately 7 hours, a Venezuelan armed patrol ship entered Guyana's waters. During this incursion, the Venezuelan vessel approached various assets in our exclusive waters, including FPSO Prosperity. Based on visible markings, the patrol vessel was identified as ABF Guakeri PO-11 IMO 4695542, a Venezuelan Coast Guard vessel. Our assets and FPSO Prosperity are operating lawfully within Guyana's exclusive economic zone. The patrol vessel transmitted a radio message declaring that the FPSO was operating in what it termed disputed international waters, before continuing its course in a southwesterly direction toward other FPSOs. Let me be unequivocal. Guyana's maritime boundaries are recognized under international law, and this incursion is a matter of grave concern. However, I assure you that my government is not acting precipitously. We are addressing the situation within the seriousness and responsibility it requires. We have already summoned the Venezuelan ambassador. The Minister of Foreign Affairs would have summoned him to his office, registering our strong protest over this matter. Additionally, I've also already advised our embassy in Venezuela, in Caracas, to lodge a formal protest with the Venezuelan government. I'm pleased to also communicate to you that we have reached out to all our international partners.
Now, I want to stop it right there for a second, because when he said that, looked up and looked across the room, I don't know who he was looking at, but we've also reached out to our international partners. Listen, if no part of this presentation made any sense, listen. Well, for me, again, when I heard this particular part, what he's about to say next, I'm telling you, family, Guyana, y'all better be paying attention, man, because he's about to identify now who's pulling the strings. Listen carefully to what this brother is about to say. Listen carefully. And that's all I'm gonna tell you, man. Like, you can't make this up. Again, just my point of view, because, you know, I don't know. I might hear it differently. If I ain't correct, somebody correct me. But at this point is when I realize my people, man.
Communicate to you that we have reached out to all our international partners, and all our international partners have responded positively. These include
all of them responded positively. You know, it's almost like saying, I'm going to get my big brother for you. You want to pick on me, I go in for my big brother. And listen who the big brother friends are.
Partners have responded positively. These include the UK, France, the USS, RSS, CARICOM, and we continue to work with other neighbors, Brazil, at the military level and at the level of the state.
That's a lot of reaching out there, man, for one boat, asking questions. It looked like some folks getting nervous, man. I mean, what do y'all think in the comments, man? In fact, hold on, let me open the lines, man. The number is on the screen. Look, my number is on the screen, family. If you want to reach our area code 246-838-8253. Y'all already know what time it is. Feel free to call in. Give me your views. Give me your thoughts. Don't just send me WhatsApp messages. I can't really read the messages while I'm on a live. It'd be a little tricky, Feel free to call in. If you don't want to show your face, it's all right. It is definitely all right. I gotta hang on a second. Somebody sent me a message here already. Y'all don't listen. Y'all hard. Y'all ain't easy, Okay, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it like this. Do it like that. All right, the phone lines are officially open. Yes, it's open. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Turn the volume down here if I can get this live going. There you go. Yeah. So feel free to call in. It should vibrate. Yeah. I turned the volume down. But like I said, he called a lot of friends, man. A lot of friends. He called a lot of friends, a lot of partners.
RSS.
Hold on. Wait.
All our international partners have responded positively.
All.
These include the UK, France, USS, RSS, CARICOM, and we continue to work with other neighbors, Brazil, at the military level and at the level of the state. We are monitoring the situation. I can tell you that the chair of CARICOM is already actively engaging on this matter with Venezuela, and also the Argyle Agreement, the interlocutor in the Argyle Agreement, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, has been informed of this development, and he is also in communication with Caracas. I've also spoken to the leader of the opposition and briefed him on the initial circumstances. Later today, as we have greater details, the leader of the opposition and I will be meeting so that he can be fully briefed and updated on this matter.
Well, the leader of the opposition, I guess that's the other party, but I'm sure there are people in Guyana who are not necessarily in a political level that might be interested in this as well and should very well pay attention. This, like I said, started a year ago. The stage has been set. Family, keep in mind that all those players he talked about from UK, Canada, France, all these folks he talked about, the RSS, they're all playing on the same team. Remember I said that they're going to use Trinidad as a platform, a springboard to get into Venezuela. Well, war and rumors of war. War and rumors of war. Let me just switch this real quick. I had another one for you. In fact, let me just share this link for those who want to watch the rest of his presentation. I'll put the link in the comments so you can go ahead and watch it. Let me just go ahead and put that up there as well. But I got more for you, man. I got another one for you. Hold on, hang on a second. This thing has reached the stage where we see it now. So we ain't gonna pretend like we don't know what's going on. We know full well what's going on. I want to go to. Let me go to this one. This one. Right. Oh man. I actually am not even seeing it. And this is my plight sometimes when I have certain links up. Is this the one? I think this is the one. No, this is not the one. Definitely not the one. Hang on. Yeah, no, this isn't the one. This is definitely not the one. Okay, wait a second. I got a call coming in. I'm gonna take the call so I can at least do this in the meantime. I can take this call. Hi, greetings, good night. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. Greetings.
You know, I had to jump in to show tonight.
For sure. Shout out to Rhonda from Guyana, because, all the Guyanese people.
Yes. Now, with that boat that went into the Guyana oil rig. We, in 1999, we did not know that there was oil in Guyana. The PPP were in power with the president, Janet Jagan. There is when Exxon came in and they started to drill and they found oil. The PPP never said to anybody in Guyana that they found oil. Now they had a lot of things with sugar coming down and rice and stuff. And our foreign currency, the producing items slump. And they never said to the country that they had found oil. Anyway, when President Granger came in 2015, less than 10 days after he took office, they called him out, they took him out of the cedar and showed him that we were an oil country. Since President Granger got the news, about 2 days after, the entire world know, along with Exxon and the PPP, who knew that oil was there since 1999. Anyway, after that,
so wait, hold on a second, Rhonda. You're telling us that this government that's here now knew about this way back and never said a word?
I never said a word.
Weird.
Because in 2014, the then president, Donald Maritime, went on the same boat in a red shirt and a brown pants and signed some kind of thing. Now you would hear they talk about the 2% royalty that they are fighting to get. When the PPP upper echelons, not the low down one, the upper echelons in the party knew about the thing. 2% was plenty money. So they accepted the 2%. So when Granger going, he had to continue with what was there. And the 2% is plenty money. Anyway, when we get this thing, we realized Venezuela started to act up. Exxon paid to the country a signing bonus of 18 million, I think, US dollars. And after this money was being paid to Guyana, President Granger decided that after Venezuela started to pick after the air the oil, to carry the matter to the ICJ, the International Court of Justice. Eventually, we get thrown out of the place, again by a coup, and every time the PPP, the same in front Ali, and all of them said that we former Minister Winston Jordan, stole the $18 million. This time, this money pay for the matter go to court. Anyway, when the ICJ started to look into the matter and to give us every gun, you know that does take long for try case and come back and so.
Right.
Your president, your prime minister, Mia Martley and Ralph Gonzalez created an Argyle conference in Ralphie country. And they say now that they're going to fix the business with Venezuela and Guyana. So you see this rebuttal there with the shit there. Your prime minister, I don't care if you're vexed, and Ralphie come together to stop to pull down the ICJ and build up what they say and said it out, Maduro and y'all gonna live good and they burying the hatchet. They can't bury no hatchet.
Facts.
Ali had no right to go and listen to Rafi and and thing. But they have to listen to Ralphie and Mia, because Ralphie and Mia helped to get them installed in the country. And the same Mia, they come here and tell them that they must not make Guyanese tenants in the country. The other day at the van for too long, we're not calling and we talking about food security. When one of your countrymen spoke about the black belly sheep that came to Guyana.
Right.
I did see the black belly sheep on the boat. The black belly sheep didn't come to we, it went to the government. But the same man will talk about the couple black belly sheep. He didn't talk about the hectares of land where you come and collect from Guyana. But he talk about the black belly sheep. Like if we eat the black belly sheep, you gotta ask the minister, them, the government, the president, and them. What the thing. So we know about the black belly sheep. So this crime is so. Boy, you see, he get up and he talking, he listen to Mia and to Ralphie. That's why the boat got to come till there for ask them what they doing there in their own waters.
Wow.
Because if he left the matter at the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, where President Granger, the character, and then listen to Ralphie and Mia, they both want to come because they would know that the International Court Justice is who looking after this matter. Oh, the hell Argyle can look after and override the International Court Justice. Never happened.
Look, Rhonda, you got me here speechless because explain.
I got you speechless?
Yeah, because what you saying basically is, and I met the brother Granger, and shout out to Granger, by the way. I felt he was a good leader. I felt he had ambition to help the people, especially the Afro-Guyanese, and I'm just using that word loosely. But somehow something happened, man. But we seeing what happened now.
No,
that oil money. That oil.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
That President Granger didn't got this country back, President Granger went along the right way. Because when, Exxon, after Exxon meet up with Granger, when Granger came into power, he called them and he said, this is what we got out here. He paid a signing bonus. Exxon paid a signing bonus to Guyana. By the time Exxon paid this money, Venezuela started to pick and quarrel about this and that. So the next thing we're going to do with the money, he didn't take the money and spend it. He took the money now and he go to the International Court Justice and you had to pay money. So this $18 million pay to start the case with Venezuela over the VLAN in Essequibo, what they want to protect the whole Essequibo.
Well, that's what they.
So now that Granger was bad, the people them who are the culprits is the same thing. Will get up there and talking because when Granger got to the ICJ, when Ralph and Mia called said they got the Argyle, he should have said, you know what? We got this matter at the ICJ and we are not going to listen to anybody else. Let the ICJ look after the matter.
But no, they wanted to have their own court. They had their own court instead. We said, we ain't going to listen to we going to have our own hearing and we going to come to our own decision.
Of course.
Wow. I'll tell you why.
So that is what. Because this ricochet now, what happened this Saturday?
I know that Venezuela. Look, one thing, in fact, is the Caribbean ready for war? The reason I'm asking that question is because regardless of whether people think it is staged, they're all working together, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. Like when folks talk about Hurricane Beryl was created by America, whatever, people lost their lives, houses was destroyed, the effects was real. Whether you think it is fake or whatever, artificial or man, whatever, the effects would be real. These folks ain't playing no war games. They serious about this thing, you know. And it's the innocent people in the region, the folks that didn't even looking on that way, that gonna be the victims, what they call collateral damage.
Course.
So I'm more interested in that part of this thing. So don't think that I hear Rhonda. Look, I thank you for calling in and sharing that, because I can tell you why in a minute. I ain't gonna tell you now. Before the night is out, I can show you why. I gonna connect the dots with what you just said. I gonna show one thing that's gonna connect the dots. Stick around, Rhonda. Give thanks. Go share this. Go share this with Kadaki. Send Kadaki a link to this tonight in case he up.
No, I won't, cause Kadaki gonna sleeping.
Yeah, he got a show. He got a program in the morning. He might be in bed. But thanks, Rhonda.
All in the morning.
All the love to you and the Guyanese family. Shout out to my people in Demerara, home of the revolution. Y'all already know Demerara. It's time to stand up again. Yeah, is that sort of time?
Okay.
Give thanks, Rhonda. Give thanks.
Okay.
Dawn, that is crazy. That's all I could tell you, man. I don't even know what to say about that there, boy. That one there is a rough one. They knew all along, kept it a secret, got back in power, shared the news with those that their team, man. Caribbean can't handle nothing. So, but we know that the people in that place, man, so much going on. But the Caribbean, right? These were leaders trying to make life harder for average people. That's why, man, like Venezuela wouldn't let his signed document nor agreement stop them from taking Guyana's resources. Well, that's the thing, though. We say Guyana's resources. Venezuela's saying it was always theirs. Like the guy said earlier, I don't know if y'all saw that comment I had put up. This goes back to 1840. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing that now start. That's why I said this goes back to the colonial time. This is nothing that has just happened. We got to connect the dots, family. We got to connect the dots. We can't look at it as now. We got to connect the dots. Greetings to the elder, man. Greetings, my family. It's good to see you. I'm glad you joined us. This is the conversation I know that you will be intrigued by. Listen easy, 2% as payment for the oil. That's shameful. Exxon received 98%. Are you serious? If I am serious, we did a program on Politically Incorrect a few years back. For those who might not be familiar with this channel, I don't know which one it is, though. I will have to go and do the archives. But we did this whole thing when they first announced it a few years back. And we look at the shareholders, we look at who's involved, the percentage, we broke it down and identify who the major players are, man. But why is this all of a sudden an issue? Why is it suddenly an issue? Let me show you why it's an issue. I got another one for you. Hang on a second. Before I do that one, I should probably do this one. Did I do this one? Man, it's just the order in which I want to drop this science, right? So bear with me for a second. I think this is the best one to put first. Yeah, I think this is the best one. Let me just drop this one first. Hang on a second. This one is from press affiliate, what they call it. Let me put this one on the screen for you real quick. Hang on a second, family.
And now more from the White House, where President Donald Trump on Wednesday announced that he's revoking a Biden-era license that allowed Chevron to produce oil in Venezuela.
Listen carefully. Trump, in fact, let me pull it from the beginning again. I want y'all to listen to this very carefully. Very carefully.
The White House, where President Donald Trump on Wednesday announced that he's revoking a Biden-era license that allowed Chevron to produce oil in Venezuela. Taking to his social media platform, Truth Social, President Trump expressed dissatisfaction with Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro's failure to meet Washington's demands on deporting migrants. And without mentioning Chevron, he added his intention to reverse the concessions granted on November 26 of 2022, which were set for renewal on March 1st. Clapping back at President Trump's decision, Venezuela's vice president and oil minister condemned the move, calling it harmful and inexplicable. She even accused the country's political opposition of influencing the U.S. administration to adopt a tougher stance. However, this is not the first time President Trump has, in fact, threatened to axe Chevron's Venezuela oil license. And speaking to journalists on February 18th, the commander-in-chief suggested that the U.S. might block Venezuela's oil exports through Chevron.
Just a little clarity on, are you inclined to continue to allow Venezuela through, I think, Chevron and other oil companies to export those petroleum products, or are you
maybe not
to pull back?
Yeah, maybe not. We're looking at that now. I just got here. When I left, they weren't doing anything. They were ready to go. We give up. And then Biden came along and he gave them literally billions of dollars. I couldn't believe it, actually. And we have so much under our feet, liquid gold. We have so much, and it was pretty amazing. So we're looking at that whole situation, why he did it.
The Chevron license, which was granted in November of 2022, had allowed Chevron to bypass American sanctions and extract oil in Venezuela. And now, amid the reversal, the move is a significant blow to Chevron, which produced over 200,000 barrels of oil daily in Venezuela, which is about 6% of its global output. Chevron spokesperson acknowledged the announcement and said the company was reviewing its implications. He also emphasized that Chevron operates in full compliance with U.S. laws and sanctions.
We are aware of today's announcement and are considering its implications. Chevron conducts its business in Venezuela in compliance with all laws and regulations, including the sanctions framework provided by U.S. government.
And meanwhile, what remains uncertain is how the decision will affect U.S.-Venezuela relations in the long run. The halt in oil production may pressure the Venezuelan leader, but it could also worsen the South American nation's humanitarian crisis and trigger new waves of migration to the United States.
Okay, so obviously this is going to be a trickle effect. It has the potential to cause other things to happen. So let me get this straight. 200,000 barrels a day. That's what he just said. I just want y'all to put that in perspective. For those who go to the gas pump and fill up their car, 200,000 barrels a day. He just said that. 200,000 barrels a day. Wait, hold on, man. Let me just put that on the screen because, you know, it might resonate. It might resonate different. I remember I saw it earlier when the lady was talking. There you go. Chevron pumps 200,000 barrels of oil a day. This has been going on since 2022 up until recently. And he's talking about shutting that down. Well, wait a minute. You stopping the cash flow of money going into Venezuela. So even if Venezuela was kind of peaceful and whatnot, it was trying to work past this whole Essequibo issue with Guyana. Guess what? America telling me I can't eat no food. You stopped my money. You already had sanctions on me from years ago. We always had issues. Shout out to Chavez, by the way. That's how that was going on from way back. One of the only Latin leaders who identify as being African and have an African presence. And you telling me now that the man next door, the coolie, what they consider the coolie man from East India that came on the day of arrival, that governing things now in the land that belonged to the indigenous people who are still there in Demerara and the likes. You telling me that the black people next door can't eat, but the other folks next door eating? I can't eat no food. So guess what? Go check that Navy ship, see what's going on across it, they're pumping oil. Let me see what's going on. So he goes across and disturbs the peace. And guess what my young fella do? Ali calling the troops. He calling everybody. Mayday, 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 yo. Yo, this guy right here, Maduro, he at it again. Okay, yeah, he at it again. But guess what? You want to send the criminals, quote unquote, that you want to deport back to, well, let me not even use that word. My apology. The individuals in America who haven't got their documents all in order, you want to send them home. Yes, some might be criminals, but I don't think all people committing criminal acts, man. So we ain't going to label all the same. My apology for that. Because everybody not in the same category. But it's like, nah, though, we ain't dealing with that science. So here we are now. So what has happened basically is this. They're looking to drop the bomb, man. And this is how you know that this is a bomb, family. Let me put that link up real quick. Y'all can see where this is going. I got one more for you. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, let me go ahead and share that one. Hang on a second. Let me share this one. This one right here. Now, it went from just being a rumor a couple of days ago to where now it's being reported. Pay attention.
Administration is ending as the Trump administration is ending Chevron's license to operate in Venezuela, which allows the Maduro regime to export oil to the U.S. Oil exports are a financial lifeline for the Maduro regime. Chevron producing about 220,000 barrels of oil in Venezuela every day. Joining us now, Ryan Berg, Director of the Americas Program at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Ryan, thank you very much for being with us today. You study Venezuela. How significant is President Trump's decision?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jose. This decision cannot be underestimated. It's very significant. You said it yourself in the opening. Chevron produces well over 200,000 barrels of oil per day in Venezuela on average. The country only produces about 850 to 950,000 barrels of oil per day, depending upon the month that you're looking at. And so this is 20 to 25% of Venezuela's overall production. So much so that Venezuelan economists were starting to refer last year to el efecto Chevron in Spanish, or the Chevron effect, how Chevron is actually revitalizing our oil industry and therefore our economy with its partnerships with PDVSA, the state-owned Venezuelan enterprise. So this is very, very significant that the Trump administration is deciding to end GL41, which is the license that gives Chevron the ability to operate in Venezuela.
Right.
Okay, that says it. So once you cripple the economy in Venezuela, and it goes back to where it was a few years ago, although it started to come out of that darkness, what y'all feel going to happen? Like he just going to sit there and be like, oh, well, don't worry about it. Y'all can come and drill oil next door, and the land that, as far as I'm concerned, belongs to me and my people. Nah. Y'all operating in land that's in litigation. So what he basically did was went back to the court. They don't mind the Argyle Declaration. They going back to the court because the court hearing ain't over. We in court in a dispute, regardless of what Ralph Gonzalez or Mia or whoever's carry calm. And like Jack Hewlin said, when he said carry calm, wait, hold up. You mean all of we? You mean to tell me that we going into war against Venezuela? Well, we ain't signing up for that, though. The Caribbean people ain't signing up for that. Y'all ain't gonna do us how Kenya did Haiti, how the Americas put Kenyans in Haiti to do what? Lose their life miles away from home. We ain't doing that, but hey, Guyana don't have no troops, first of all. Guyana military is like maybe 10 people at best. And Venezuela is probably well over 100,000. That ain't gonna look good. My point is, you ain't gonna draft good men from the Caribbean. See, the whole idea is to get rid of these soldiers, right? So that when they come for the land, ain't nobody to defend the land. So you got to realize what the real scheme and the real ploy is. This is bigger than Venezuela and Guyana. America right now is in debt to China. I mean, God knows how much money, trillions. And guess what? Well, wait a minute. That money is paid back with taxpayers' money. Not the money that they borrowed, taxpayers. So the government borrows money from these lenders, then they make the citizens pay back the money that was borrowed. But the money that they borrow go amongst them and their people in contracts. You know how it goes. Catch up. But here's the thing. China takes that money and builds their army. So let me see if we get this here straight. We borrow money, pay them back, they build an army. Countries get weaker. So if America is going to back Guyana, who you think going back Venezuela? Not Russia and China. And come on, man. Yo. So now we here in the Caribbean, all over the Caribbean, seemingly supporting Guyana and CARICOM in this initiative. You think them Spanish folk gonna think that, we and all in agreement? They're gonna be like, yo, damn, then Caribbean islands sitting there, they're like sitting ducks though. So if y'all gonna come and invade my country, man, I gonna make it hell for everybody else. If there's ever a time, right, to hold our Caribbean leaders accountable, family, if there was ever a time to hold Caribbean leaders accountable for the decisions they make, family, it is now. It is now. Because don't think that Mr. Trump and all his heavy barking all over the place is going to work out like that. He has a role to play, and he's going to play his role because a lot of people, a lot of countries, a lot of corporations went against the people, the indigenous people of the Americas, of Europe, of Europea, of the Caribbean. The what we, a lot of things happen. And yes, this is the day of reckoning. So we didn't get mixed up in your wars and whatnot. And Mr. Ali, I don't really know you that well. Well, I don't know you at all, quite frankly. I don't know you. You look like a young fella, good and dandy, granny from Guyana. So Guyana is home, as far as I'm concerned. The Caribbean is one people, one Caribbean is what we're dealing with. Pay attention to what happened in Ukraine. Here, my man, you talking, right? And you calling out, you call all your allies, you call everybody. Guess what? You sound like the guy in charge of Ukraine. What's his name? Zelensky or whatever his name is. You sound just like him. Pay attention to how they're treating him right now. You hear me? They're going to use you as a front, as a pawn. They're going to give you everything you need to get themselves established in your land. And once they establish themselves, you might get a little paper if you get away with it. Guyanese and Ukrainians, though, if that's how you pronounce the name, Ukrainians. That's not what it is, man. We not going in for that. Keith Rowley basically he had to resign because they got his card and they gave him a message to bring to the CARICOM meeting. That's why he wouldn't announce his resignation till after he spoke to you all. So I can only imagine what he told you all. So he right now also in the limelight, the spotlight, and the bright light, and can't say a word. And you know that. So guess what? Don't end up like Ukraine, bro. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Oh no. In fact, let me go ahead and drop this right here. Let me check the comments real quick. Hang on a second, man. Them two leaders love Maduro. So Ali can get squeezed. Listen, Ali's going to end up like the brother up there in Ukraine. I'm telling you, up in the White House crying. Because I remember the interview he did last year. I wonder if I could find out real quick. Because about a year ago, he was up there whining. I wonder if there's it here. Let me see. There's it. No, that one. About a year ago, he was up there in the Americas whining, man. I remember that. Clear as day. Talking big about, he dealing with the Americas and he meeting the Oval Office and, we're having many talks with America. You remind me of that guy. I'm telling you from what's the place there, man? Ukraine. You remind me of the guy from Ukraine, family. This is a serious thing, man. So what's going to happen at this point? Rob Gonzalez and me and Motley are. I wouldn't even call them enablers. I like to think at this point they are definitely direct MI5 and MI6, man. Straight up, man. That's how I'm looking at this thing, man. Imperialism on the rise, family. We can't sit back and watch this. Although Rhonda Guyanese, she's not telling the truth. The first dispute with the discovery of oil in Guyana is 2004. Suriname gunboat fired on the people that started the drilling. Who she's not mentioning this? Why she's not mentioning this? Well, okay, I'll say this much. Maybe she may not be aware of that part going all the way back to 2004, where they fired apparently on the people who were drilling. I didn't even know that either. So I wouldn't even mention that. But give thanks for the information. Politically incorrect. If we're not correct, feel free to correct us. It's all love. Thanks for sharing that. My inbox crew could do some research on this and probably send me a link in my mailbox or so. Let's take a look at it. I know they had something planned for this country. No vision for the people in the first place. They're rebuilding BIM anyway. Nah, listen, the plan is a long-term plan and it ain't for us. We're not included. They're wiping out our history and now we're looking at a war. All I'm going to say, right, is that it's important to recognize the times we're living in. This particular video right here, I may not play it because it's kind of long. I'll play part of it, but I'll give you the link to go and watch it. Y'all gotta go and watch this. This is very interesting. Rolly listen. He's fleeing U.S. repercussions, says Kamala. I gonna tell you this, man. This is interesting. This right here is very interesting. Let me go ahead and put this here for you to go look at. Let me put the link in the comments real quick.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has presided over a near decade of destruction and is fleeing from the mess he created, says opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She said this includes deals with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who US President Donald Trump is going after. The former Prime Minister issued a scathing media release yesterday on the heels of Rowley's announcement that he will resign on March 16th, criticizing his legacy and leadership and insinuating that his exit comes in the face of Trump's ascendancy. Even as he withdraws from a post for which he is ill-suited, it is evident that his retirement follows closely on the heels of Donald Trump's election as US president. For years, Rowley was warned that he was taking our country down a dangerous pathway in his dealings with the narco-trafficking regime of Nicolas Maduro. Yet, he persisted in dealings to aid the Maduro regime and local business interests connected to the Venezuelan government, said Persad-Bissessar. She said US authorities are already taking action against individuals and entities that have collaborated with the Maduro regime. She said, OFAC is dead, along with other Biden-era concessions to the Maduro government, and with his retirement coinciding with the 11th-hour suspicious sale of the Petrotrin refinery to a company internationally red-flagged for corruption, Rowley seems to be setting the groundwork to flee the country. And
he sold the oil company in Trinidad to a red flag company. Understand, y'all gotta watch the rest of this, man. It long.
The coming legal repercussions of his Venezuelan dealings. His hand-picked successor, Minister Stuart Young, who worked as the facilitator of these deals, will soon face the same punitive fate as Rowley. Persad-Bissessar said the quality of life in TNT has diminished under Rowley, who, she added, is the only prime minister in our history who has not made a single tangible achievement during his tenure. She said history will recall Rowley as presiding over an ever-worsening crime epidemic that cost thousands of innocent lives, a catastrophic public healthcare system, the collapse of the economy, grinding poverty, deteriorated physical infrastructure, and overall national hardship.
Trinidad is in a mess, man. My Trinidad family, whole firm for the time being. That's all I could tell you. This situation here is just daily getting out of hand, man. What more can we say? What more can we say? I think at this point, wait, hang on, let me just copy the link. I think I post that there for you. For those who are interested in watching the rest of that, go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, we're looking at BIM, and they created the BBID app located every building in BIM. It said while the US was flying over BIM, and they created the BBID app located in every building in BIM. Well, they know why they're located in every building. We're not paying attention to these urban war drills, man, at all. Rhonda was very dishonest and political in her remarks. Guyanese were informed of the findings for oil before 2004. The delay were getting the exploration and contact in place. I was monitoring this for a long time. I even visited Guyana. Well, again, I'm not going to say she was dishonest or she wasn't. What I'm saying is that she may not have been aware of that part, is what I said to you earlier. And so I understand where you're coming from. And they may have made announcements. But because they make announcement, not everybody's paying attention. Life is life, and people got their own thing going on. They may not be aware to some degree. But if there was a case where I don't think we understood what she was saying that this other government knew full well what was going on. And I suppose rather than put certain things in place, they kind of left it for the last minute. Of course, and when Granger came in and heard all the details about what had happened, he then made it known to the people, the details of the arrangement between the drilling companies and so on. So I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right. But I think her focus was more on the fact that the previous administration did not reveal to the people the details of the arrangement, especially that 2% and how things would work. And that's probably what caused the difference. It's only right. And hold on a second. Yes, greetings, Rhonda. I'm glad you called forward.
Yes, I'm listening to the comments of the people. Listen to me, Emmanuel.
Yes.
When and tomorrow, I wouldn't call Kadaki now, but I'm gonna get on to Kadaki. When we knew that Guyana was an oil country, it is when President Granger got into in 2015. I can't remember the exact date. It was 2 weeks into his tenure as president. After 23 years PPP, the PPP knew that they had seen the oil, and the PPP never said to the country that were an oil state. They never said it. But after President Granger got in 2015, then we knew, because he made general announcement, we were an oil country. The latest oil nation was China, and that was in 2015. 2004 as what that person is, that was never ever explained to the people of Guyana, let alone the world that Guyana had found on. So don't let I live in Guyana and I saw certain things. And that thing, everybody get things. Imagine when you're going, the island is unexplored, the island they don't do that kind of thing. That when that we would get forced oil like in 2020, we got forced oil in 2019 December. And because of the no confidence vote, which one of the AFC members from the coalition, Barrett, got up and said that they cannot spend this first oil money. So the money had to be left there in the sovereign wealth fund that they have stolen out. Now that all this money, why the big government then buy 2 tanks of fight in and 2 Bitcoin left Venezuela see that because we get money, we start to build military might. No, but all the flip money, they got to Dubai with it. And the rest left back, and the ones that fix up buildings all around the country. This country is below sea level, and then building enough house the more gorilla. They're building 8 and 10 story house. Time when they build the 8 and 10 story house, they can't come upstairs. Because currents are poor in the country, they can't excavator, or elevator to carry them to the top floor.
I can imagine, Rhonda.
So who calling there? You see who calling in there talking? I would fix the business behind talking like.
But no, thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, Rhonda. I appreciate that. We appreciate you.
You see, Barilla, I tell you that I wouldn't come to Barbados, they would fling me out in the sea.
Nah, you're welcome to come here anytime, Rhonda. You're welcome anytime, man. Anytime. I'm telling you, we love you all, man.
Anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna get on to Kadaki.
Yeah.
And you have Kadaki and you gonna talk.
For sure. Thanks again, my friend. All right, family.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. You okay. Okay. I'm on a live, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. No problem. Okay. That was a call from Trinidad, actually. Some folks don't want to come on the air. I get that. I give thanks though. But listen, family, One Caribbean. Watch out for a role of the U.S. Southern Command in this new war between CARICOM and Venezuela. If they push CARICOM into a war against Venezuela, they're going to push Caribbean first, like they did in Canada, like they did in Haiti. And they're going to come in afterwards. They're going to lend support. They're going to wave money in the face of these leaders. And money going to flow. You know, as always, how that go. So we got to pay attention, family. We got to pay attention. So Haiti and Dominican Republic are one. No. Hispaniola was always one. But ideology through education and religion, they see themselves separately, especially with language. And that's how they divide the people. Divide and rule. That man is big dance. No, I think, again, Rhonda, I think y'all just maybe misunderstand each other. But I appreciate you calling and making it clear. I appreciate you making that clear. But yeah, though, this is crazy. But let me show you why. Let me show you why I personally, I recognize that a lot of what she said is true regarding the brother Ali. He gonna end up like Zelensky. Somebody said, I don't know, man. He need to pay attention. But let me show you why I said that, because of this particular video right here. This one right here. This one right here. And this one right here, man. This is going to be problems just now. Watch why he's showing you, people. Watch why he's showing you. None of y'all ready for this, man. I ain't going to put it on, though. I ain't going to put it up, man. I ain't scared. Check it out, man. So Vibes Cartel apparently was in St. Vincent with Ralph. You know that. He's in Barbados, as well, putting on performances and whatnot. And guess where else he's been recently?
Instead of asking a question, I like to ask a favor, very big favor. Is to do a collaboration with you.
He's in Guyana. But guess who else? Guess who else? Listen, these politicians here. So you want to appeal to the black community and the youths. So who do? The voters. Guess who you do? Bring in Vibes Cartel.
No, serious.
Yeah, listen to him. I told him what to say.
Very, very nice song already written out. Really and truly.
Hold on.
I have to make an announcement now.
Listen.
So, the president have a reasoning earlier, and we're going to do a showcase. So, Vibes Cartel will be coming back to Guyana before the show, and we'll do a showcase with us, the artists here, right? Yes. And two things are going to come out of that. Two collaboration. One with me and a man, one with me and a woman. Hear that.
Yes, Ali, hear that. This guy, you kidding me, right? Like, you for real? Yeah. For the youths now, we talking votes. Must be election time in Guyana.
That's what I deal with. We have spread the love right across. Not just Jamaica, not just Miami, no. We here in Georgetown and we're doing it big.
Here in Georgetown and we're doing it big. This is why I'm telling you, man. It makes sense, man. It makes sense, man. This thing going to another level, family. So we got to recognize, the players in this game, because all in one breath, you see what's about to happen, man. You see what's about to happen. So this is why I tell you, family. Only the little man going to suffer as per usual. Zelensky has no cards, man. That's where we at, family. I know what the UK is involved. All the dark tone people are in trouble. They ain't changed. They treated British citizens They treated British citizens from the Caribbean rough when they sent them back to the Caribbean. Well, here we are. Karma. So imagine that. Is anyone ready for war? Okay, Rhonda dropping his science. All right. Greetings to the family. Shalom to you too. Give thanks for those who tuning in now. Make sure you go tell a friend and tell a friend. The question is the Caribbean ready for war? Well, at this point, it's not all doom and gloom. It is. We can't just be all doom and gloom. Let me give you. Let me see if I drop this one. Let me do this. I want to do this one. I want to do this one as well. Yeah. Before I go that way, let me just go back to that. Yeah. So I got another video to show you. 2 more videos to show you before we. What time is it? Yeah, before we go to here. Let me say this, family. At this point, regardless if there's going to be a war or no war, or there's just rumors of war, the Bible talks about in the last days will be wars and rumors of wars. But notice it said they're going to be wars, not just rumors. They're actually going to be actual wars, man, in diverse places, like earthquakes in diverse places. Well, we starting to get the earthquakes in the diverse places, family, because I don't know if y'all was. I mean, I'm sure it was on the news because I don't always watch the news. But we've been having some earthquakes in some diverse places. In fact, over the last few days, we had a few earthquakes back to back in a similar area. And you start seeing that thing happening, man, we could talk again about man disturbing the beds and causing earthquakes. We could do all of that. My thing is the effects of them are real. So we got to treat it accordingly. I want to encourage my Caribbean people at this point. Again, I've been saying it for a while now. The program has kind of switched a bit in case you notice if you're not paying attention. Focus on rebuilding family. Don't wait for no politician. Don't be thinking about no politician to come and bring you a slice of bread. Don't sit down and try to wait for no opposing. The other party, the one that said the wrong thing, because you know they're quick to call my name. Just saying. I don't want y'all to sit and wait for nobody to come rescue you. You got to start thinking how you're going to rescue yourself. You got to start thinking, if you're in a church, a PTA, a youth group, a WhatsApp group, a family group, a Rotary Club, the lodge, whatever you in, start thinking about, yo, man, I wonder if this thing really real for truth here. Let me start so we can plant a little food. You plant potatoes, I plant the edibles, you plant the bananas, you plant the corn and chives, whatever. And let me see if we could try to figure something out. We ain't got a perfect plan, but have a plan. Start harvesting water. Start getting water filtered. You only water a lot of chemicals. There are different devices you see online that might also be put in, using the UV light to clean the bacteria of the water, certain things, because a lot of people getting sick, dropping down all over. The one common denominator is the water, along with some other stuff, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. So you see my point. We got to start thinking how we gonna do this. Start buying food. If you can buy extra food this week, put it one side, put down stuff, rotate the cans in your little pantry or your back of your cupboard. Find a way to start preparing yourself and make sure you have supplies in the event that something was to start to happen, because you already know how it's going to get. It ain't going to be easy. Start doing it as a community. First, as an individual, as a family, as a community, and as a nation. We about nation building. We can't talk it. We got to do it. As far as the land is concerned, yes, they still stealing the land. I'm going to show you that in a minute too, by the way. I got a link. I got one thing to show you regarding that, but let me do this first. Hang on. So in case you all have not been paying attention, let me let this video here play just a few minutes for those who have been paying attention.
Let's start with some of those new earthquakes in the Eastern Caribbean. Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. All right, we get a look at what's going on. Now, I covered a couple videos ago the cluster of earthquakes, which is rather typical. I'm always watching it, though. Nothing's really typical when it comes to earthquakes in the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, U.S., and British Virgin Islands. But a new one. This one was yesterday evening, and a lot of us felt this. Now, it was 4.7 in magnitude, below 5, so there was no damage or anything like that, but it was on the shallower side, 34 kilometers down, 21 miles down. That's why I saw a lot of your comments. There was quite a bit of shaking in spots, or at least it was felt in many of our islands. We felt it in parts of St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica. This was right near Dominica and Guadeloupe. It was felt in Montserrat and Antigua, Barbuda. So that was a new earthquake that just happened yesterday evening. That's on top of the one or close to the one that we had a day before that. Sunday evening, a similar spot. Here's Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados. This one was felt as well, but it was a little bit deeper, 64 kilometers down or 40 miles down, 4.8 in magnitude. Not as many of us felt this, but the one yesterday was shallower. It was felt all the way down through Trinidad and Tobago. Now, you had to be kind of sitting still at the time to feel it. It wasn't a huge earthquake, but it was a shallower one. Shallower earthquakes are 0 to 70 kilometers down. And that's where this one was, or 0 to 40 miles down. So shallower, closer to the surface. So it was felt by more of us. Now, in this region, we're talking about a subduction zone.
hence the formation of our islands, our volcanic islands. What you have is one plate wedging underneath another plate. So you've got one going under another, and that will give you earthquakes at times. There's not a tsunami threat with what we had over the last couple days. It'll take a bigger earthquake for the most part to cause a tsunami threat. I'm watching that. I always watch the volcanic activity. I don't mention those two things to be on the scary side. Both of these earthquakes were below 5.0. Usually above 5, we start to get some signs of damage. But I do want you to know that that's why I'm here. I'm watching all of that stuff nonstop. 2 new earthquakes in the Eastern Caribbean. I'm going to keep an eye on our area very carefully, of course, no doubt going forward. Now, we have a big story.
Okay, so let me share this link as well for those who are interested as well. Hang on a second here, because one of the things I also know is that this guy, he does a lot of good work. Brian Shaw, shout out to Brian Shaw on this program. Great stuff, keeping folks in the loop, in the know, I should say. Let me say this. Oh, by the way, shout out to those from, I guess that's JA Jamaica, JAM Jamrock. I suppose. Big up yourself, same way, family. Give thanks for tuning in. Let me say this though: we get in 2 earthquakes that close in such a close area. Just saying, family. Just saying. One down here and then one a little further up. I'm just saying, again, family, pay attention. And once it starts to shake these islands that have volcanoes, I'm saying a lot of things are happening. I'm not saying this again for no doom and gloom. I'm saying we got to start paying attention to what's going on around us. Don't get caught up in this political thing all day, every day. It's politics. These politicians been doing this same sellout thing for eons. There's nothing new. We got to start holding them accountable by being more responsible for our own governance and what we do as a people. How we take care of self, family, community, each other. We got to start looking at that. We got to start doing for ourselves and stop begging these politicians to do for us. We got to stop that, man. Like, that's high time we cut that out, man, for real. This is the apartheid in Guyana with the domination of the African people by the East Indians. That's crazy, but that's a fact. That's a fact. That's why Ali, don't be careful. He gonna end up like Zelensky, because you can bring in all the vibes, Cara. Tell you, like, right? That's such a, well, it's such an insult to the people to think that, these political moves, you're gonna bring in vibes, Cara. Tell you think you're gonna gain the black vote by doing that? A lot of folks, man, they're looking at the action, man. You talking, and they're seeing who rising and they're seeing who falling. Why know for a fact is you got folks with Lamborghinis in Guyana. I suppose that's okay though, right? I suppose so. This is crazy, man. Narco trafficking. Trinidad in a USD crisis. Well, if they ain't got no US dollar, they cannot buy. Foreign exchange is what's needed to buy certain things. Man, Trinidad, now they blaming Rowley for that. They say Rowley looking to leave the country. Go get that link I sent you. Watch that video. Watch the video, man. It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. CARICOM has admitted that European colonial masters within the ranks, France and the Netherlands and Great Britain, are not members of CARICOM. Yeah, this is the illusion. The illusion. We know what's going on, man. I'm telling you, they're going to put us against each other. They've always done that. We make it, look, Rastafari, we make it issues amongst ourselves. We're on the enemy. I love it. But that's the whole idea with CARICOM versus Venezuela, right? Make enemies amongst ourselves, man. Barbados signed an agreement with Spanish company to set up a pharmaceutical company in Barbados. Man, you don't even know the half of it, uncle. You don't even know the half of it, man. Pedro said, we were told about Rwanda, not Spanish. Vice come to bring rum to Guyana, them drink. Yeah, the vice come to bring the rum. Sweet Vice, what is it? Sweet Vibes rum or Vibes? I don't know what it is, man. But a lot of these artists is the face for these companies, but he ain't making no rum. That's some European rum company with, you know how they do it, put his name on it because he's popular to sell the brand. And once he do the right thing, once he do the right thing. Look, let me tell you something. The way they took over, and I'm gonna show you that I saw that picture earlier. Father, give it to me, man. Don't let me lose it. The way they captured the rest of the islands, especially Yarraman, from the indigenous folks, after they signed the agreement of peace, they gave them rum to drink afterwards. They give all these soldiers rum. They say, hey, try this. Guyanese Indians are serious on racism towards people of color. Different level. Trimmers, not quakes. Trimmers indicate the quake that's to come. I ain't mind you, Pedro. You could talk that. I seen enough videos on that, man. This began to sound more like revelations for truth. I telling you, family, we too busy playing politics with politicians, man. I'm telling you, man. And this thing happening right in front of our faces, man. So the world is a stage. We the people are the entertainment to our detriment and ignorance. Said Palm, they believe in the caste system. They say in Trinidad, they're doing collaborations also with singing artists. I'm telling you, family, it's time we start to pay attention. Pamela saying, Carol, welcome from Jamaica. Yes, Carol, big shout out to the people in Jamaica, the whole Caribbean. It's still politically incorrect. We share love with those who come on for the first time. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I got orders this afternoon from one of the other matriarchs. Shout out to the matriarch too as well, the local one. You know who you are. I won't call your name. I know how you like to stay in the shadows. Give thanks for the connection this evening. And she said, Emmanuel, you got to take the program to another level. And I told her we're doing so. We got lots of plans for the program. It's coming up. I know we've been saying so for a while, but the people are coming in place because as one individual, I can't do it all. I can't do it alone. And so we need you to do your part, and we do our part. So I give thanks for those who are seen and those who are unseen. Make this happen all day, every day. You know, like I said, you want to contribute, there's a PayPal program somewhere here. There's an email address. You can send it. If you don't want to do that, my number is on here. Call me. We could connect. We can make it happen. Give thanks for all those who already support the program in great and small, man. Straight up. Carol said, blessings, Pam. Look how we connect the people, man. Politically incorrect. That's what's up. Jacqueline said, Google it. There are European countries, including the UK, are members of CARICOM. Yes, that's how they're going to do it, CARICOM. But they're going to push the locals first, get rid of the warriors. Sorry, France, Netherlands, Great Britain are no members of CARICOM. Give thanks, Elder. Uncle on the job, man. Shout to Dominica, by the way. Big shout to the family in Dominica. Dominica got their own challenges too, man. But we all over the Caribbean, family. And we here. So don't get drunk on the Kool-Aid. Yes, do not drink the Kool-Aid. I'm telling you all in Guyana, just a reminder, the Caribbean, do not drink the Kool-Aid. Straight up. They call it sponsorship vibes. Cartel is in front. Sponsorship, right? Keep the Caribbean people drunk while we come and capitalize on it. This is a serious time we're in, family. That's the time we're living in, man. Jacqueline Ursula was invited to the 48 summit. Really? Wow. Now, I'm going to tell you something, I don't even know what to say with that, man, but I don't know. Wait, do I have one? I think I got one more to share. Let me get to it real quick. I think I had one more to share. But I definitely wanted to share that one of the weather. And they're also talking about, how the climate in the region is going to impact the hurricane season, which is around the corner. But, oh yeah, this is the other one I wanted to, I got one more. I do have one more. Yeah, I do got one more. I have another one to share. Let me just check the comments real quick. Who are we, the CARICOM, about to go to war with? Well, Carol, there's talk, but you may have to watch the program from the beginning. I showed a few videos that brought us up to this point, but there's a dispute, and I didn't even know if to call it a dispute, really. Guyana and Venezuela are just the faces, but Guyana is being used as a springboard for America basically to enter Venezuela, justify what they're looking to do, what they've been looking to do for a very long time. And so there's a lot of things going on because Guyana has oil and they just shut down Venezuela oil contract, trying to put the people in an economic sanction and to force them to go against the government, I suppose, or overthrow Maduro. It's just manipulation, man. Pure manipulation. Pedro said, it only takes a stroke of a pen. That simple. That simple. So true. Pam is saying, Carol, frequency rise to you. Good people go. Good people know people, man. Red Antonio too. Well, look here, family. Let me just drop this other video real quick. This is the irony of this whole thing, right? I want you all to listen to this carefully. You cannot make this thing up. I'm telling you, you cannot make this up at all. At all. At all. Wait, let me full screen this video real quick. Let me pull this from the beginning. Yeah, I put it partially from the beginning. Partly from the beginning. Let me just go forward here a bit. Okay, let me share this one. Yes, President Ali announces, now get this, he now announces extension of food security initiative. This is the same guy that talked about 25% in 2025. Do y'all remember that? He wants to cut the import bill and start growing food in the Caribbean and Guyana, the Caribbean region, and cut the import bill. Yo, Elder Bishai, you remember 25 by 25, 25% by 2025? Guess what year we in?
We are indeed meeting at a critical time, not only from a trade and geopolitical perspective, but also from a food security, food production, and food price perspective.
I ain't even got the popcorn on the chips right now. This sounds like a movie in the making. Listen carefully.
2024 would have seen major impact in the region as food prices for cereals, meat, dairy, vegetable oil, and raw sugar increase significantly on the global market. Of course, we import those increases, we import those inflation, and we have to manage within that context. However, 2025 is adding a lot of worry to the situation. The increased climate-related challenges, increased transportation and logistics costs, uncertainty in tariffs and rules, trade rules, would have a significant impact on the cost of food globally and here within our region.
Okay, let me let it play. I have fighting the urge to say something. Let me let it play a little more. Hold on.
Just to give you an example, bird flu as we know it was first reported around March 2022. As I speak to you now, the current situation as a result of bird flu is alarming. There's a 20% decline in egg production from the US, and you would know that we source most of our hatching eggs out of the US. We source table eggs also. Many of the countries source table eggs out of the US. For a
Can somebody look, Rhonda? You said this man mad, right? But Ghana population, and you know what, man? I mean, I'm just trying to find my words because, like I said, I don't want to come across wrong, right? But what I'm saying is that with all this oil and all this money and all this infrastructure going on, all this building and all kind of imports and mechanics and machinery, you mean to tell me you ain't planting the food and raising the livestock to feed the people? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I ain't in Guyana or gosh, why? I don't know what's going on the ground. But if you extracting that many barrels of oil, if Venezuela doing 200,000, I am sure you're doing way more than that. At least 3 times that. You mean to tell me all this money want to get in? You ain't nobody implanting the food, nobody ain't raising the livestock for the sake of feeding the people and the people who coming into work in these different areas. When it's still important, eggs. I would think that Guyana right now should be exporting eggs, taking the same money from the oil, empowering the people in Guyana, creating jobs for the young people, creating opportunities for young people and families to build resources, to be able to economically empower themselves and their families for generations to come by creating industries. You telling me that when it's still importing eggs because the eggs in New York scarce when they ain't got none? Are you talking about announces extension of food security initiative? Look, man, I don't want to say certain things because I'm politically incorrect. So it's come out incorrectly. But I just go crack a smile because if I don't smile and remind myself, take it easy. You see me when I smiling, I'd be telling myself, no, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. But yo, look here, man. People, I'm telling you, the corporations that he's a president in charge of a corporation, a company, not necessarily a nation. He has nothing to do with the nation of Guyanese that were there from the foundation time, the indigenous people. He ain't got nothing to do with that. We got to stop looking to these politicians to do for us what we got to do for ourselves. With no apology, man. Don't let the idea that this guy went to some school and got some degree impress you to think that he's somehow brighter than you. He's been educated by his colonial masters to do just what he's doing, run the colony, the illusion of inclusion. The illusion of inclusion. I don't even know what to say what this man will say here, man. Hold on, let me finish, man.
As a matter of fact, in some regions, when you look at the year-on-year increase in the cost of eggs since the first reported case of bird flu, it is 70% increase. When you look at egg prices as of January this year in the US, there's a 15% increase in the prices of eggs. When you look at poultry meat, there is a
Look, even he's scared to hear his own voice. You understand me? Look, family, I can't play them on this. I'm gonna give you the link to go watch this brother speaking. You gotta go and listen to him. Rhonda, it's important that we listen to what he said at the CARICOM meeting that they just had. It is too important to miss. Also, what Keith Rowley said. I'm telling you, they right now, look, family, look, let me say it again. We have to start preparing for what is to come. The writing is on the wall. We already went through COVID. That was the test run. And everything they wanted to implement during that time, they gave it a test run. They know, what they coming with next. Ain't nothing different. It's the same thing repackaged, rebranded with a few more additives. Let me not play stupid, man, and start realizing if we don't do for us, don't do for ourselves, well, you know what? Some of y'all waiting to go to heaven. So for y'all, you waiting on Jesus. I ain't got no problem with that. But even Jesus said, work till I come. He said, work till I come, man. Work till I come. Translate, please, to make it make sense. Well, in order to translate this, what he's saying is, hold on.
11% decline in production as I speak to you in the US. And as you know, the US occupy about close to 30% of global market share in terms of poultry meat. So we are discussing the impact of these challenges for the region. And important for us is to look at the full supply chain, to look at alternative supply routes, and to look at ways in which we can enhance and integrate our capacity and capability to withstand what could be a major shock in the global market.
what could be a major shock in the global market. Imagine this is a man that talking as president of a country that just found oil, pumping out oil, making millions of dollars when the day come. And you talking about find all the youths in Guyana, right? Vibes cartel, what? That don't make no sense. Let this man bring some entertainment to you when you ain't got no work, no job. You got no look for money to scrunt and get to a show and hope that you get a song with Vibes Cartel. Well, more power to the youths who put, who on that path, but on a real, right? This man talking about starving y'all and getting you drunk. Like starving you and getting you drunk. Not creating no program, nothing. No, I ain't hear him say once about empowering. He ain't said nothing once so far about empowering the people in Guyana to sustain themselves and to assist their fellow brothers and sisters in the region, quote unquote, carry calm. Not a word. And this who y'all looking up to? Man, all I gonna say, right? It is high time again that we recognize what we need to do. And so, how did we get here? We got to ask Deborah Cox that. You have to ask Deborah Cox that question, man. Guyana currency had a devaluation. Sean, at this point, it don't matter if they devalue. The resources they have right now, right, is sufficient to pump value into the currency, into the economy, to sustain the people of that country. So for him to come here and speak like that is so disingenuous and a direct indication. And he just said it. We in for a shock. He actually just announced that because you see what, look, as he's speaking, he's feeling for words because he was told something. And he don't have to convey this message, and he's trying to feel for words the best way to convey this to you. This is not a man that's speaking from his heart, passionate about something. This is a man that's doing double speak. That's what it's called, double speak. He's telling you something that he's not telling you when he's telling you it, although he's not telling you it. The question is, are you listening? Guyana, are you listening? Caribbean, are you listening? CARICOM, are we listening? Are we listening? 25% reduction of the region foods import bill by 2025 has turned out to be a crying shame and failure of CARICOM. Don't even get me started on that at all. I know a little too much, man. Too much. Because not only is it a crying shame, it was impossible from the inception, and nothing has gone into making it even possible at all. Show it to the OECS, by the way. I got to do that much. Because what I do know is that the countries, the ones that they overlook, is the ones that actually actively trying something, working on ways to make a difference. Everybody else talking about trade and trade routes. So where you plan to get the eggs from, Ali? Question, where you plan to get the eggs from? Ali, you know, I would feel funny with a president named Ali, you know, especially if he was, you know, stealing, because, you know, Alibaba, the 40 thieves, right? I would feel funny. I mean, I don't know. I'm being shady, man. Let me stop. It's educated food. Educated fools. Let me tell you something. One thing you got to notice, though, Richard, that all those flags behind him, every single one have on a gold fringe. Now, as much as folks watching the program, as much as I speak about that in passing, I say that, I don't know if anybody go do their homework and find out what that gold fringe mean. They're doing what Washington is telling them to do. That's a fact. That's why Rowley was there. That's why Rowley said, I won't resign until after the CARICOM meeting. He had to bring the message. Listen, because he couldn't call and tell nobody nothing because the phone's tapped. He couldn't send a message or email because they're going to intercept that. He couldn't send a pigeon because, well, you know how that goes. They're not smart. He had to wait till he meet with them in person to tell them in their ear. They all nervous. Don't let it fool you. Elon Musk got them nervous. I'm telling you. We're going to do some reviews of these accounts and the funds we've been giving you. What have you been doing with the money we've been giving you? Let's see the books. Not the books you tell the people about. We know about that. The other books, because, you know, Elon got the technology. He doesn't hack everybody's stuff anyhow. Got all your business out there, man. All them nervous, man. Guyana and Suriname are cuddled to supply food security for CARICOM, while Barbados will be the hub like the dark days. Oh, yeah? I know when last you went by Layers, Pedro. You might want to take a trip. Exactly. No talking about food security with all that land and importing eggs from the US, and that don't make sense. You telling me it don't make sense? He is an educated slaves, man. I'm telling you, man. He said Jamaica worse. Believe all them in it together. Wait, hold on. Let me go back here real quick. They all in it together. Let me give you it right here. Look. They all look at there. Look. They all in it together. All. This looked like Christ's Last Supper. This look, you know, they got that picture, the Last Supper. Man, look, folks will think I'm making fun, man. But yo, Carol, folks saying, wow, man, I hope Jamaica, man. Show it to my Jamaican people again, man. For real, real. One Caribbean family. Out of many, we are one people. Perhaps Mia probably arranged that echo to happen to drum out his BS. Yo, listen, say what you want, right? But we appreciate Miss Motley, man. Say whatever you want. We appreciate Miss Motley. I can't speak for the rest, man. You know, can't speak for the rest. I just wonder if them is really studied what them is be saying. I'm telling you, you think they be studying what they be saying? They say what they have to say, man. Double speak. The PM of Bahamas also has some nonsense to say too. I'm sure. I'm sure. He said, Mr. Madir taught truth while the others taught ideas. I don't know. Sorry, still can't make sense of nonsense. The hell he importing food from the US, from the United States. I don't know, man. Look, family, all I can say, right? 255 by 2025. 25 by 25 is another failure. I know for sure. The commentator, Vibes Cartel has his own brand of various tastes of, I think, street rum. He only expanding the market for them. Well, I agree with you. I think he's doing just that, extending the market for these rums. I don't know if Vibes Cartel owns a rum distillery. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. I don't know if he has people doing research on that. I do understand how these companies do work in terms of branding and white labeling, where they'll create a product for you, like Rihanna. They create a product for you, slap your name on it, call it yours, but in reality, they're the ones in the background manufacturing it. You just the face of the company. I don't know that it's his arrangement, or like I said, he has rum distilleries that he has purchased that actually makes and do the research on a particular, various tastes of rums. I don't know, but in any event, what we don't need right now is a drunken society. I understand that. That's, I get it. Don't get me wrong, but there's a way in which we do this thing, man. And clearly we recognize what's going on. But give thanks for that one. And that's no shade of Vibes Cartel, because I grew up listening to some of Vibes Cartel. In fact, shout out to Jack, by the way. We had invited Vibes Cartel to Barbados back in the days, Vibes Cartel and Movado. In fact, we're the ones that invited them both to come and talk to the young people about these Gully Gaza issues, to kind of teach the youth that it's only entertainment. It ain't really real war. You know what I mean? But you know how it goes, man. I did thanks for the welcome. Well, give thanks for you too, Carol, for joining us from JA. do come again. Be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. But you got to tell a friend to tell a friend. You got to bring some company next time you come forward, man, for sure. You got easy. Palm, y'all laughing. Look, I can't get to these comments fast enough at all. Y'all got me on here. Why don't y'all calling? Are y'all scared? Carrie, come doing what it was meant to. For sure, straight up. He said we need to go back to the Reagan administration. I don't think so. When Bishop administration tried to empower themselves, these people in Washington do not want these Black Caribbean countries Caribbean countries to be independent, I guess. They don't want us to be independent, but we are not. We are independent. We independent. It depends on how you define independence. Greetings and salutations, man. So the question is, answer the question, is Caribbean ready for war? The answer is no. Infringing on our rights. Yes, that's right. That's what those gold fringes mean. They're infringing on your rights. None of these people here represent the nations that they talk about. They all represent the countries, which are corporations run by the European nations that invested in them from the inception of slavery. Well, colonialism, let me put it that way, not even slavery. That's what it is, man. Where is our import of food coming from? Not dabbling with USA food standards. They accept anything. Forensic audit coming. Where the money gone? I tell you, ask Rowley. Y'all gotta watch that one I post about Rowley though. It is serious. And a lot of these Caribbean leaders are in the same boat. I'm telling you. Anyhow, so many comments. Let me see if I can skip forward here a bit. A lot of GMOs in the USA for sure. Said Dito, the PM sold us out. It said, Palm said, both ladies love their scarves. Oh man, y'all gotta be okay. Okay, commentator. My name is Emmanuel, by the way, in case you didn't notice. It's all right, Carol. I understand. It's some crazy crap like that going on in Jamaica as we speak. But the war is between the government and we, the people. It's a fact. It's the same thing, though. It's the same thing. They just give the illusion of, keep us fighting each other. Divide and rule is them own plan. Their own plan. That's what it is. Facts. Well, thank you, Carol, for coming in and for sharing. We give thanks for sure. I do love and respect Miss Mia Motley and Abraham Totore. Yes, but I tell you what, he probably would never sit with her. Yes, Miss Motley looks good on camera when she goes out and speaks. We get that, and we appreciate her doing that. They said visit me is one thing, live with me is another. Yeah, well, there's some things that Miss Motley has to also resolve that she hasn't done so as yet. And so I don't mind her on the international level speaking to the world on things of international importance, I suppose. But again, home drum beats first. There's some things that need to be resolved locally that, that you might not be aware of, like me not living in Jamaica that I may not be aware of. It's the same thing. But the Caribbean leaders are pretty much the same. They're not pushing for liberation. They're pushing for comfortability. And we, the people, we want our liberation. If we don't get it one way, we're going to get it another. Simple. But no, Pedro. Carol is not from Barbados. She's from Jamaica. She may not be aware of the things that those in Barbados are aware of, so we ain't going to be doing that. But Carol is just here as a visitor to Politically Incorrect, and we will show her the political incorrect welcome as always, like anybody else tuning in. Palm said, Carol, all that glitter is not gold. We greatly dependent. Well, food from the US is poison. Well, it can't be food then. Pam, Carol asks you for real. All that glitter ain't gold for real. It's a fact. The debtor is slave to the lender, the economic hitman. Jamaica is in the same position. All the Caribbean islands in the same position. The world is in the same position. The difference is that there's some who making power moves and stepping on others. We got to start depending on the others, man. Anyhow, It said Mia Motley has done little for the masses. Chat. Well, again, family, I had to put that one on. To me, honestly, it's a plan that it's a planned thing with most of them leaders. Just keep doing crazy things only to oppress the native more. I can say it no better. Facts, real thing. Carol for real, trust nothing. Smoke screen and mirrors, man. Pedro has answered your question, Carol. Have you ever heard me mention Ibrahim? Never, ever. Oil and water, man. But let me tell you something, too, though. A lot of people talking about Ibrahim Tori, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm going to say this, and a lot of folks may not like it. I'm just going to say this. But, you know, one thing about this system, if you watch it, right, it's always on time. And we're living in spiritual times now. People say we're living in a spiritual time. We have always been living in spiritual times. Even when we was on the oppressive side of things on the plantation and the plantocracy, it was always spiritual. Nothing is never without the spirit of God and the presence of God. The question is, why does God allow some things for a season and then change things in another season? Well, I'll tell you what, it's based on the people. My people, if you would only turn away from what you're doing and return unto me, then I will heal your lands and I will restore that which was taken. Those are also verses in the book. So again, I say to my people, recognize where we are. It's time to wake up, family. It's time, I can't even say time to wake up. People know what they're doing, man. Time to get your house in order, family. Straight up. That's it. Tell a friend and tell a friend, family. We out. Give thanks for y'all tuning in. As always, give thanks for your time, your energy, your synergy. She said, for real. She said, for real. She ain't do nothing for the people, for real. Carol, you're right, man. Look, family, is all love. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Be on Friday night again. I'll hopefully be on around 9. I'm working the wars at 8 o'clock because of different things I do earlier now. Might be a little bit difficult, but I'm working on that. Maybe I should get a co-host. Someone said it's supposed to get a co-host. Might have to get somebody to come on and cheer the program as well. So who knows? Anybody who's interested and brave enough to do so, send me a WhatsApp. My number's on the screen, 246-838-8253. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Carry calm. But go listen to the rest of this brother speak on food security. I mean, it's almost, I don't even know what to say, man. It's almost,
And integrate our capacity and capability to withstand what could be a major shock in the global market.
The link is in the comments, family. Go check it out. Go check it out. In fact, I'm going to post it again in case you lose it. The links I post, family, please do your homework. I don't want to say please, man. Do your work. I'm doing the work here. Go do yours. Just don't watch the program. Go do the research. Make sure that I ain't on here telling you the stories. Go check it out just in case I edit the video and tweak it to suit or whatever. You know what they say, AI or whatever. Go check it out. Go check the link out. I'm telling you, go check it out, man. Shout out to the matriarch again. Night to you. Bad Joe, Carol is telling you, come to think of it, no. Pedro said, which book? Fairy tales? Pedro, don't do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. Respect the book, man. Emmanuel, you just want us to joke. Nah, wait, hold on. You just want us to get jokes. No. I don't want you to just get jokes. I don't got no jokes. But I'm just telling Pedro, the book is, a lot of people take that book serious. Don't forget, it's our book to start with. They only changed some things in it, Pedro. But it's really our book. So once you know your story, inner story, I story, you know the rest of the story from the book. You know how to read the book. I mean, it's yours to start with. Anyhow, family, we out for the night. I didn't plan to spend 2 hours on here. We have not done this in a little while, but we give thanks. Carol, she went to the AU and Torre weren't there and said nada, not a word. Nah, we know how this thing go, man. But again, welcome. Thanks for coming in from Jamaica. Tell your people in Jamaica is one in Caribbean. We ain't into the tribalism or whatever they want to call it. The water does not divide us, Carol. The water unites us. That's our bridge. Let me stay connected. I got a tune, family. I got a tune. Pedro, I had a tune the other night that you might like, though. But I got a tune tonight that I think is fitting, but let's hope that they don't try to block this thing tonight. You know, there's always try to. Hold on. I would give away a t-shirt tonight, but I don't think anybody's going to guess this tune, so. Yes, anybody guess that tune gets a free t-shirt tonight, politically incorrect t-shirt. Anybody? I don't think nobody getting that tune though, man. Straight up. Anybody getting that tune? Let me run it again, man. Tell a friend, family. Tell a friend. I get a little too much. Anybody know that tune right there? Let me see what's going on here, man. Who know that tune right there, man? Man? Is it Peace, family? Good night, Peace. Don't go yet, Easy D. Give me that tune, man. Sean, what tune that is, Sean? Tell me what tune that is, man. How soon will the t-shirts be delivered? Asking for, listen, man. You know what? You is beer scenes, you know. Tell me how that sat was today from the system, man. Let me know how that came out, man. Drop a line, man. Who know the tune? Man? Who know the tune? Let me see the comments real quick. I tell nobody ain't getting that tune. Hold on, wait a minute. Carol said, but he, as the PM, should be the one to welcome Vibes Cartel. What is he hoping to gain by doing that? Well, you know what? Election, man. You see, Cartel appeal to the youth, and so that's what that's be about, man. The young people. That's what that's about, man. Usually the young people, man. He said their systems can detect copyright. I don't mind, man. I don't mind. I ain't looking. My page ain't monetized enough, and I ain't making the money off of it. So they might give me a warning sometime, but they tell me that don't worry about it because it ain't a case right here. I'm here trying to make money off of somebody else's material. So depending on what it is, they just give me a blight sometimes, but we see how it goes, man. I mean, nobody know that tune. I can run the tune, man. Watch it now.
Talking about war and rumors of war. Talking about the coming of Jah. The time is not far. Oh my majesty, please rescue me. Oh my majesty, can you rescue me? War, rumors of war. Talking about the coming of my father. The time is not far.
Hopefully it's not here.
God, when I reach home, I'll be
What the Caribbean family.
Talking about wars and rumors of war. Talking about the coming of the kingdom. The time is not far.
Okay, you went down there, too, man. The first one is from Alfred, man. Facebook is from Alfred all the way in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York in the building. What's the Jackie? All the New York people, you already know. Rain, we already know who you are. Big and bold. Calendars, man.
All I see is complication, causing complication amongst
All right, Fred, let's see you, Fred.
rumors of war. Talk people are coming down, the time is not far. When I reach that place, gonna be happy and free.
Happy and free, family.
I'm in that land, and I've got my liberty.
Trying to be with the liberty of this city, family. War in Guyana. War in Trinidad. War in Jamaica. Everywhere is war now, family. Everywhere is trying for liberty, man. Liberty. That's the time we're dealing with, man. Enough is enough. This been going on too long. My people, my people, my people. Time to pick it up. Pedro, I got one more for you, Pedro.
Why is the 666 time section? No.
One for you, Pedro. Okay. At least last the first piece of Germany, family one perfect balance.
Hey, slave driver. I'm asking you this question again and again and again and again. Word police, you false priests,
simple question.
Trying to indoctrinate your people, but give me a minute. When will this payday be?
When will it be, family?
Slave driver.
When will it be?
When will this payday be? Tell us this hour.
Can't put that thing I want, so my jacket here now she tell me pull it.
Why is the 666 time section?
When will this payday be, man? Give the people back.
Hey, slave driver.
Real war coming just now, man. Hold
I'm
on.
asking you this question again and again and again and again. Word police, you false priests, trying to indoctrinate your people. When will this payday be? Slave driver. When will this payday be? Tell us this hour. When will this payday be?
Classic, man. Classic. Listen to the words, family. Listen to the message, family.
When will this payday be? Mr. Big Man. When will this payday be? When will this payday be? For all these retired slaves. Y'all listening? My forefather worked down here on this great plantation.
Come my request.
Surely didn't get no pay
Empress,
for all their wasted days. Tell us now, when will this payday be? Mr. Slave Driver, when will this payday be? Tell us this hour, when will this payday be? For all these retired slaves.
Y'all on Friday night for sure, family.
Will this payday be Monday? Will this payday be Tuesday? Tell us now. Will this payday be Wednesday? Wednesday can be the working day.
Yes, and you too.
Can this payday be Thursday? Ben Johnson Day?
Over the weekend,
Can it be Friday? The regular payday? Will it be Saturday? Saturday being Shoemaker's wife day. I want you to give me that. No. When will this
this payday be? Slave driver, when will this payday be? Oh, Jah. When will this payday be for these retired slaves? Tell us now, when will this payday be? You better give me that. When will this payday be? Tell us this hour. When will this payday be for these retired slaves? You beat my grandmother in the fields. Rape her and call her a prostitute. Fill the land with colored babies. Where the dignity? Sure. When will this payday be? I'm asking. When will this payday be? But grandma's at the table is turned. When will this payday be? For these retired slaves. We not joke, we not take back no talk.